Hi, my name is Rebecca Collison, and I want to welcome you to God's Farm Bible Study using the book Preparing Fields for Seasons of Change. Now, as we begin this study, we're going to be looking about stories because, like this old barn that's been in the family for over 100 years, there are stories in these walls if they could talk. There are stories about seasons that were good seasons and seasons that were not. There have been laughter and playing around in here, but there's also been a lot of work here. But that's what comes from working on the land. See, there have been gardens throughout the Bible, gardens that brought life. Like the Garden of Eden in Genesis, when all that was created, including the plants and the animals, all came into being because it was God's plan. And then there was the garden in which the stone was rolled away from the tomb to give announcement that Christ had risen. And then there's the garden in Revelation, in the new heaven and the new earth. All of these gardens and all the agricultural references that are in the Bible show us how we are to be grounded and rooted and centered on the land where we are placed. It's a place where we find our centering even today. If you want to get away from everything, what do? Many times you get away to the land, whether it be a beach or whether it be walking in a field or whether it be in the mountains. You know, in 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 9, Paul refers to the church as God's field, God's farm in one translation. So in the coming weeks, we're not only going to look at theological implications of the land, but also at the 4 agricultural seasons: the fallow season, the planting season, the growing season, and the harvest season. And then how they inform us as the Church of Christ and help keep us grounded in healthy spirituality. Because to have a healthy spiritual life is crucial in today's times. You know, in the 21st century now, many rural and small churches have lost hope. They've lost vitality because, like this building, they've been left for newer buildings. They might have good bones, good foundation, but they're looking a little rough around the edges. And they don't feel like they have a hope in the 21st century. And yet, God planted them there for a reason. So we are going to reconnect and recultivate our hope as God's church wherever we are planted, no matter size we are planted. But we need to understand that, like the seasons, there are cycles we go through and we can't get stuck in just one. Also, we need to understand that we have to identify what season we're currently in order to do the most faithful thing amidst our challenges and celebrations. So as we move forward in this study, I encourage you to come along for this journey through different fields while looking at your own field, your own church setting, and following the land process that's in the book to help you rediscover the riches that are right in front of you, that don't cost a dime and are genuinely a part of who you are, who God has made you to be. So as we look around, let's go for this journey and see that God has more in store than just what our eyes can see.